Please mute your ocean sounds.
Oh, I heard back from a potential volunteer. She says, I look forward to the training and to be a positive member of my community. Hugs, Aggie Cohen.
Oh, that's great. Hi, Julie. Oops, I can't hear you. You can let me go ahead, unmute yourself.
There we go.
Hey!
Still not a fan of the Zoom, but it's good. It's worth it.
Oh my goodness. Julie, thank you for meeting with Robert the other day.
Oh, you're welcome. He was a sweetheart. Nice guy.
Yeah.
So, and we kind of figured out a good spot to put everything.
Good, so. Good. Hi, Susan. Hi, Sandra and Lynn. How you doing? Good. Oops, Sandra, you're on mute.
We're unmuted.
No more.
No more muting. No more muting. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having this.
Absolutely.
It's like a huge list. I tell you, I'm nervous.
It looks more intimidating than it is.
Okay, that should be. So, well, I'll ask later.
Okay.
I'll hold my
What I was gonna say is if and I'll say this again when other people join us, but if questions come up during the training, if you are afraid you're gonna forget your question, you can type it into the chat and I'll get to it at the end. So if you know, I'm speaking for myself because questions go into my head and then, squirrel and then it goes.
I don't remember why I'm in the kitchen.
Julie, how are you doing? Julie?
Yes.
How are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
Oh, great.
It's been a long time since I've seen you.
It has been. Are you all are all healthy and family and
Oh yeah.
Good.
We're about killing each other.
I get that.
I tried locking her in the spare bedroom, but she keeps
Found her way out.
Did you find? Can you go to your corners? That's what David.
I make her wear a mask at all times in the house.
That's so you can see things and no one can see it, right? Because you can whisper. What'd you say? I didn't say anything.
Susan, I'm looking forward to meeting you one day in person. Who knows when that'll be, but I'm so glad
yes, that's you.
I have my volume cut off.
Susan has her volume cut off because we're actually sitting right next to each other, but she says
right.
she looks forward to it also. Hi, Luann.
Hi. Is this similar to what we've done before?
No.
I don't think so. I mean, yes, your wife says no.
Can you see why I wanted to kill her?
Wife says that. Hey, Luann, you are muted. Do you want to just unmute and say hi?
Am I muted?
No, you're fine, Lynn.
Oh.
It was Luann.
Oh, Luann.
Yeah.
Heather, can I ask you, I have bags and water to drop off. So should I call ahead when I'm coming over, or are you guys there all day?
So I'm here all day today. Hi, Luann. And all day tomorrow. And then after that, I know the timing is terrible. Originally, it was supposed to be, I was on vacation and the reading stations were going to be earlier, and now everything has crashed together. So after tomorrow, Stuart and Claire are going to kind of run point and everything. So I lost track of your initial questions.
So, well, you answered it. So tomorrow, I'm just thinking, remember, tomorrow we'll stop by with the water and the bags.
Thank you. I knew I was answering something about being in the office that I completely left my head. Okay, so it's 1 o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and start because I want to be respectful of your time. And then if people join us, or they can watch the video later on because I am recording it. So I'm gonna share my screen with you. Just a second here. Okay. All right. Can everybody see that yet?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome. I'm gonna Monica is here. Hi, Monica. And Carolina Rivera is here. Okay. If you just arrived, hello. If you don't know me, because I know some of you are connected with Claire, but you have no idea who I am. So my name is Heather Lucier. I'm the programs coordinator at the Literacy Council. And if you're just joining in, I just want to say to everyone, thank you so much for supporting this program with your time, and some of you with your donations and everything. We could not do it without you. And I know that the kids are really going to benefit from our efforts. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to just quickly go through the items that are on the agenda. And my thinking is, of course, if you have an immediate question, feel free to interject. But if it's something, you just want me to answer at the end, if I don't go over it, please feel free to type that into the chat, and I will read that at the end and answer any additional questions that may pop up at the end. Okay?
Mhm.
All right. So here we go. So first, I just want to talk about the actual physical setup of the locations. Now, unfortunately, this document does not apply to everyone because some of you have permanent shelters that you'll be at, whereas some of you will have interns setting up this sort of location with a canopy, with a 10 by 10 canopy. First and foremost, we want to keep traffic moving in one direction, and kind of think about it as, no more than one family group on any side of the tent. That way we know that they're 6 feet apart. So if there's a family here checking in, there can be another family here and another family here, and they can maintain their social distance. The interns will arrive in the morning and be responsible. If it's a temporary site with a canopy, the interns will arrive at 9:30 to set up. We're asking that if you're a lead volunteer, that you come by 9:45. And if there's any, last minute assistance with getting things out, we just ask that you support the intern. Let them do the heavy lifting, but if it's a matter of just arranging forms and, kind of making sure everything looks nice, just go ahead and help them out. But this is generally how we want to have it. Now, if you are in a permanent shelter and if your tables are stationary and you can't move them, you will obviously have to adjust from here. I highly encourage people, if you're able, to make a site visit to where you're assigned, and we'll talk about that later. That way you can get sort of a lay of the land and make some decisions ahead of time. I'm encouraging the interns to do this as well, to visit the site. Yes, everyone, yeah. So I'm going to move on from here. This list looks very exhaustive, and it kind of is, but this is everything that you're going to be going to the site with. The interns will be picking these materials up at the Literacy Council in the morning and transporting them to the site. And the intern will also be responsible for filling out a restock or a reorder form for supplies, either books or supplies that are needed to be added the following day or, subsequent days. So they'll be able, and I'll get to that form in a minute. So hopefully, if we've done our job, hopefully everything that you need to carry this out is here. But if you find that you need something that you don't have, that's what we're here for, to support you. If you need something that you haven't got, we'll find a way to get it to you. So hopefully things will run very smoothly, and you'll have everything that you need. Tried to put a lot of thought into it. Any questions on this before I move on?
You send us, excuse me.
Just wondering which ones have shelters, or are you going to get to that?
So Aberdeen Lake has a shelter.
Yay.
Southern Pines Pool Park has a shelter. I understand that Taylortown has a shelter as well. Let me pull up my list here.
Well, you answered my question.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I'm just looking to see if I missed anything else.
Robin's Green.
Robin, yeah, that's right, Claire. Robin's Green Space Stage. Yep. And do you know if Westmore Elementary has a? I thought
Yeah.
you told me Westmore has a covering as well, right?
They do. They do.
Okay, so those are the ones that have permanent coverings. I don't think the one at Westmore though has tables under it though, right? It's just the covering.
It has picnic tables underneath it.
Oh, it does have picnic tables. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, great. So that answers your question, Sandy?
Thank you, yes.
Okay, great. Let's move on then. So this is the supplier reorder form, which basically is like the other form, but missing a couple things that you're not going to reorder. Like you're not going to reorder tables and chairs and things like that. Oops. So I took those off. But what the intern will do is just fill out how many of whatever it is that they need. You put the date needed and the site number and the location. Turn that in at the end of the session. So you'll be meeting with the kids from 10 to 12. So after that's over, submit a reorder form of what you need restocked for the next day. And that includes, I don't think you can see it here because I kind of condensed everything here, but that includes book titles and whatnot that would be needed to replace and everything. We're grouping the books in boxes by age group. So you'll have 4 boxes of books. They will contain 6 different titles with 5 copies of each title, roughly. That is not the total sum of books that we have here. This is just to get you started. So if you find, for example, that a title is not moving as well and you want to try something else, we can send out different titles, the following day. So it will be up to you to communicate to the intern, hey, we need 5 more of this, or we want to trade this one out for something else. But your books will be according to, one box will be pre-K kindergarten. The next age group is emerging reader 5 to 7. The next box is chapter books for 8 to 10-year-olds, and then chapter books for 11 to 13-year-olds. So you'll have 4 clearly labeled boxes to help you make the book selections for the children, or to present them with multiple choices, I should say. Any questions on that? Okay. COVID protocols. Mostly the intern will be carrying this out, but it's important for you to be aware of them, to model them, and to support the intern. We have a lot of young people that are going to be with us, and they're still at a point in their life where they're building confidence and being able to speak to people and everything. So it's our hope that you as the adult on site will support them and model the interaction with the families as they come, especially where the interns are going to be asking them to maintain some safety guidelines. So I'm not going to read through everything here. Do you have any questions on any of the bullet or numbered list items that are there?
Just every child wears a face mask? No
Every
matter-
child over the age of 2 will wear a face mask, and we have face masks.
It says right there, I'm sorry.
That's okay, that's all right. No big deal. So I'm gonna go over the health survey next, but we just need to, make sure that the interns are enforcing what they've been charged to enforce, and making it as comfortable and friendly as possible, and showing that we can be safe and gather together if everybody just follows the procedure and everything. Any questions, or shall I move on?
Move on.
Okay, moving on.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. It's very quiet, but I can hear you.
So it's so very hot outside. Do you think that there is a chance that the thermometer might read higher?
That's an excellent, is that Naye?
Yes.
Hi, Naye.
Hi.
That is an excellent question. I'm gonna have to research that. My hope is that if maybe if it's done by noon, hopefully it won't do that. And because it's lasered at the individual person, not just kind of atmospherically, I hope that it will be fine. Has anyone in this group read anything to the contrary about touchless thermometers in an outdoor environment?
We had a situation, I took my son to the dentist and we were waiting in our car for them to come get us, and I had the air conditioning full blast, and we got out and they took our temps and we were both reading 102 degrees.
Oh, geez.
So
that is disheartening.
Jeez.
Has anybody do you know of anybody that's found a workaround for that?
we just kind of had to stand there for like 5-10 minutes, and they just had to keep scanning us. And I mean, obviously it like went down quickly, but I mean, we just had to stand there and wait until our temperature went down.
So that sounds to me like that would be the solution. If someone reads hot, have them step aside and into a shady area and away from the tables that you're working at, and cool down, and have them try to come back to the table after 10 minutes or 5 minutes or something like that.
We can all wear bathing suits.
Wouldn't that be grand?
And then if someone does answer positive to one of the questions, like if you've been exposed or whatnot, do we just politely say, sorry, you can't join us?
Yes, we're so sorry, but we want to preserve everyone's safety and protect everyone that's here. And, well, especially if it's a question about like the first one where if you have the fever or cough or anything like that, if they want to come back the next week, and if they haven't got COVID, they might be able to check for a fever again another day. But if it's dealing with exposure, we really have to politely ask them, we're really sorry, but we can't allow you to participate, which is very sad, but we have to keep the larger picture in mind. Stuart, did you want to say anything about that?
Go out and say, if it was me, and if we took somebody's temperature and it was too high, I would say, gosh, we're sorry, we can't read a book with you today. But to be honest, I would look at a kid and I'd say, this is a 10-year-old kid, I'd hand him a 10-year-old book and I'd hand him a lunch and say, come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
They turned up. I don't think there's any risk in a one-way exchange, us taking a book outdoors and a bag lunch and just handing it to them and saying, we want you to read it at home because we're worried, the risk of COVID. But I don't want them to go home empty-handed.
I'm glad you said that, Stuart, because I was thinking about that in the first call. So, okay, that's a good way to handle it. So the thing is, we do need to make sure the interns are politely and in a friendly way asking these questions. And regarding the fever, when we ask them to answer that question, they must also answer that question for children or family members who are not present at the site. So if there's someone in their household that's not there, but as a member of their household, that counts as part of this. So that will cover the health survey, I think. Let me go on. I know you can't read this. I'm going to be sending to you. So hopefully everybody that's here knows the dates that they signed up for. If you don't, please send me an email and I will resend you the dates. But I know I've talked and emailed with a number of you, and you have specific date assignments. The yellow areas reflect where we're still looking for some interns, and I know Stuart and Claire are working on that. We are trying to fill some intern spots. The blue squares with the red writing, and I have that. This is a little out of date as of an hour ago, but indicate where we still need some lead volunteers at. So if anybody is not scheduled on one of those days and wants to fill in somewhere, we will gladly assign you. So, oops, I'm sorry. I gotta stop touching my mouse. Is there anybody in this group who doesn't know where they're going or when they're going? I'm gonna take that as a no. Okay, so we're gonna move past this because it's just too tiny to read anyhow. This is just a list of the physical addresses. So if you're at a site that's not, you know, something obvious like a park, if you're in a neighborhood or somewhere, or you're just not sure where to go, I'm going to send you the list of addresses so that you can put it in your GPS and get there. And I think that is really it. I did want to take a moment to go through. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I wanted to, oh, now I can see everyone's face again, which is great. I couldn't see everybody before. Hello, if I didn't say hello to you before, hello and welcome. So I'd just like to take a minute. Sandy, you were like, this is a big job description. So I want to just prove that it's not as daunting as it looks, and just have everybody feel comfortable with what they're doing. So we would like you to arrive at the sites at 9:45. The intern should be on site by no later than 9:30, and probably even a little earlier than that if they pick up their stuff here pretty quickly. And they'll set up the tables or tent and book bins and everything like that, the COVID cleaning supplies. And certainly when you get there, if they need some assistance just kind of finishing putting everything out, that would be wonderful, to just support them in that way. And if you would just supervise the interns and make sure that also at the end when they take stuff down, that everything is collected and that the zone is trash free, litter free and stuff like that. We'll be sending trash bags to the site. So we should be able to collect anything like that. We've kind of already talked about this, just ensuring that the interns are following through with the protocols and that they are welcoming to the families. I mean, that's one of the huge parts of this, right? We just want to be so encouraging and bright and positive with our families. So even though, you know, we're asking these questions, you know, everything is in the eye, especially when we're wearing masks, you know, everything is in the eye. So really, you know, smiling with your eyes and, you know, enunciating and making your voice cheerful and friendly is really important. You know, greet each family, ask about the children's ages, you know, engage with them and inquire about them. We are going to have a clipboard that is going to maintain a record of which programs they sign up for. And by programs, I mean Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, Vroom, which is a mobile reading app that can be customized to age range, and there's another one called Make Way for Books as well. So those are programs that we either want to find out if they're already signed up for it, then great, we want to document that, but if we can register them and get them signed up for that, that would be great. And again,
for these on their phones or?
Yes, so Dolly Parton is a form to fill out. But the other two, they would sign up for with their phones. But we are also providing flyers. So if it's a child there that's going to take that form back to their parent and have their parent get it on their phone, they can do that. Because it's possible that at some sites, children may approach and not have a digital device, but there may be someone at home that does.
Can I get on the Vroom? I don't know these apps. So
yes, anyone can get on Vroom. It's free to anyone. VROOM. And the other one is Make Way for Books. So if you'd like to explore those and see what they're all about, I think that would be wonderful.
Great.
Heather?
Yes.
Do you have anything translated, like the flyer you're talking about?
We can make sure that we have that. The flyers are translated already. The Vroom and the Make Way for Books are translated.
What about the big flyer, the main flyer?
With all the sites on it.
With all the sites on it.
Oh, with all the sites on it. Would you be willing to translate that for me?
Sure, we'll do that today. And
awesome.
Send it to you so that you can put it in that same format.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. The other thing too, Naye, is we have the STEAM activities, but they are not translated.
Send them our way. We'll translate them today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate that support. Thank you.
Me too.
Okay. Let's see. So we'll have STEAM materials and flyers all translated. Thank you. Thank you. What you'll be doing, your main focus will be helping children to select a book that is age appropriate, that is exciting. We hope to send you with as many varieties of titles and everything as we can. We do have some books that are bilingual as well, and you know, can make those selections as well. What we want to see, the most important thing is that we want to either observe the children reading the books themselves, or reading to them, or having a caregiver read to them. But we like to see some reading take place, and what we have put in place is that they will receive their snack bag and their STEAM activities after the reading takes place. So invite the child to sit down and read the book, and let them know that when they finish, you have something extra, you know, to give to them, and then give them. And then of course, we want everyone to invite the children to come back. If they could come back every day, they can get a different book every day, have a snack every day, and, you know, just emphasize how important it is for them to keep their reading up, and, you know, come see us again.
Kids are going to come. Do you know?
We, I think we are, this is exploratory for us since it's our first time, Lynn. I think some sites we may see more. Oh, Naya, go ahead.
Jackie has the question.
Jackie.
And Kim has the question.
Yes.
So what if the parent just decides that they just want to take the book? Is that possible, or do we just say that we do need to read the book there?
Stuart, I'm gonna throw that one your way.
I think that we ought to encourage either the child to read the book or the caregiver to read the book. It doesn't have to be the whole book. You have a couple pages, or you could say, how about let me read the book to the child, you know? But if they won't do that, you know, again, I wouldn't send them home empty-handed. I would give them the book, and I would give them the snack and the STEAM materials, and send them home and say, you know, try and, you know, the Literacy Council is less about giving out books as so much as we are actually seeing people read and helping people with their reading. So we're trying to encourage people to see a little bit of reading get done right in those first few minutes. But obviously, it's a chapter book. You're not going to read the whole book, right? It'd just be nice to see the kid read a few pages. So here's your judgment, but I don't want to send anybody home empty-handed. Yeah, we're sitting on 3,000 books for one thing. We need to get them out there.
Yeah.
Heather, it would be helpful for me to understand kind of how this works. So a family walks up, or a child and a mother walk up, and we welcome them, and we ask the questions, the health questions, and then what? I mean, I'm just trying to get a sense of what.
Sure. So a family walks up, and we want the interns to be the first greeter and to ask the questions. We'd like them to do it, but we'd like you to support them. We'd like you to support them. If you feel that they're being a little awkward with it, or, you know, need some extra guidance, please, you know, model good form, and, you know, just help them. But this is an opportunity for them to grow, you know, handling a little bit more responsibility and everything as well, because they are, you know, interning with us. So the idea is to empower them and support them rather than take over from them. But the family comes up, and they are greeted, and then they move around to the next area, and that is where they are asked what they would like to sign up for. You know, what do they already have Dolly Parton's Imagination Library? If not, do they meet the age requirements? Let's get them signed up. Do you have a digital?
And I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know all this. So Dolly Parton Imagination Library. They sign up for it and then they receive books. Is that right?
Yes, Dolly Parton Imagination Library will send a child a book a month up until they're 5 years old.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And they're really sweet, nice little books, and it's free, and they have little covers on the inside of it where there are questions that parents can ask kids so they can help active reading take place. So it's really a nice program.
Great.
Vroom is more like literacy games that you can play with your kids, or that your kids can play. It's tailored to age. And Make Way for Books provides books in English and in Spanish at various age levels. So it's kind of like having a free Kindle, but for kids, so they can read on a tablet or on a phone or on a computer.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So once they sign up for that, then they really sort of become yours, because now you want to find out how old they are and you want to start pulling out book possibilities for them. It's really important that you be the one to handle the books until that child makes a selection. We want to avoid having children or families touch any book that they're not going to take with them. So,
because of the COVID virus, right? We don't want them to touch the book. They're asymptomatic. They pass the virus to the book, and then the book goes back in the bin.
Right.
You touch the books until they choose one, then you hand them that book, and they keep it, right? And then you don't have to touch it again, and they don't have to touch the other books.
They said there were.
Once the child gets the book from you, that's when you say, we'd like you to just, if it's a chapter book, hey, why don't you come on over here and, read a few pages. And after you read it, I have some STEAM activities I'd like to give to you and a snack for you to take with you. And then again, if the parent or caregiver insists that they have to leave, that they can't stay and read the book, you might not take, maybe don't take no for an answer the first time. Maybe say, couldn't you just spend 2-3 minutes, maybe shorten the time. And then if they really insist, then like Stuart says, then say, sorry, you can't stay. Maybe you can come and read another day, and here's the snack and the STEAM activities. I think.
Tell me what the STEAM. I'm sorry, I'm so stupid. What are the STEAM?
You're not stupid. It's my fault for not explaining that. I'm sorry. That's the teacher in me that just assumes that everybody knows what that is. I apologize. So STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. It's an acronym to represent all those areas. And it's sort of a 21st century skill to be able to integrate those concepts and activities and curriculum to prepare children for critical thinking, for being able to do analysis, for using their imagination, for asking questions, to really boost and build the sort of critical thinking rather than the sort of spoon-fed, I'm telling you this is what I know, here's my knowledge for you, but letting kids discover things for themselves by engaging in specific activities.
Yeah, great.
Okay. So the handouts that we're sending home are designed to be simple, meaning that they can be done with things that are found around the house. We wanted to make sure this year, at least, we were we set the bar big and we really wanted to send things home and everything, but when we realized all we had to undertake, we decided to make that really doable and pick things that kids could do with whatever they had at home, rather than try to arrange special kits and everything like that. So
how old is too old? I mean, what if we have is there a child that's too old for this?
If an older child comes in and they find a book that interests them, absolutely not. Because it could be an older child, but the reading level might not be where it's supposed to be. And if they can find a book that excites them and that they want to read, give it to them. Absolutely. And and that's a win right there.
Should we wear gloves?
Yes, we have gloves for you to wear. And one thing that I forgot to mention in terms of supervising the intern, they're going to be cleaning in between families. So they will wipe down all the surfaces. They will wipe down any pens or anything that were used for like the Imagination Library. So they'll be cleaning between each family group. We have disinfectant and we have gloves. And of course we have masks to give out as well. And there'll be hand sanitizer and everything. Okay. Let's see. Of course, and I think I already said this, so I might be repeating myself, ask the child and the caregiver to come back the next day. Make sure the intern sends in the reorder form so we can get everything pre-packed and ready for the next day. And I think everything else I went through. Is there anything I left off here that you have a question about?
What if it rains? Rain?
Okay. One thing I just want to bring up, and I'm sorry I didn't have it as part of the slide presentation. The magical clipboard that has the tracking information that's going to track the student's name, age, what programs they signed up for, and did you observe them reading, is really important to make sure that that gets filled out. That's how we're going to measure the success of our program. So just please, the sheet is very self-explanatory, but please make sure that we do keep records of that and that you send those records back to the Literacy Council so that we can enter them and track them.
Heather, Sandy asked, what about if it rains?
Okay, so the plan is that if it's not a hurricane and it's not raining sideways, that we're going to go rain or shine. Hopefully we'll have enough coverage. As far as the book boxes are concerned and protecting the materials, my thought is that if we provide sort of the contractor bags, that the book boxes could go inside the contractor bags so that they wouldn't get wet on the bottom if there's some dampness. And it might be a good idea anyways, because sometimes in the morning the grass can be dewy and damp anyhow. So we'll try to protect the books, but I think we would try our best to continue rain or shine, again, unless we have sideways blowing rain and tornadoes and that kind of thing. What about lightning? Someone just asked.
Oh. Use our judgment.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be out there if there's lightning. I don't think we should be out there if there's lightning.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, make the call. You know, if you got lightning in your area, make the call. Just let us know. Just let us know if you're closing shop.
So if I could, I've got yet another question. I'm just trying to get a sense of how long this journey around the tent or the shelter takes. I mean, so I'm picturing we have 4 families waiting. So we're over now, we're reading or getting them to read or whatever. I'm just concerned about, so how long do we spend there before we move on to the next child? Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's a good question, Sandy. So, and feel free, if Claire or Stuart, if you want to jump in on this too. My thought is that the whole process should really only take 15 minutes tops. It shouldn't take very long to take a temperature and ask those questions. The signing up for the programs may be a little bit lengthier just because you're trying to ascertain whether or not they already have them and you might be sending stuff with them. But then the book choice is really the part that could be achingly long or not. You may have to, you know, it's like, to use an example, it's like when my husband goes to the cereal aisle in the store and we have to stand there for 20 minutes while he decides what cereal he wants, okay? You know, so you may have to guide that child a little faster, you know, just watch what's behind them and what's coming. And of course we don't want to super rush any child because that's a hard decision to make, but you know, maybe if you see there's a lot of people, maybe instead of pulling out 5 different choices for the child, pull out 3 or pull out 2 and let them choose.
So I'm asking you to repeat, I think. So we're getting them to read, but they don't take the book with them. Is that right? So they're only.
No, they do take the book with them. They do. Yeah. All these books are going with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, you've helped me. 15 minutes. I mean, that's good. And I know that's just a round number, but it helps me understand You know,
And she only has another 15 minutes worth of answers or questions.
All right. I think you have answered all my questions.
You had good questions, Sandy. I'm sure there are other people here that may have had the same questions, and you brought it to the front and it was answered for everyone.
Oh, what I've been through, you don't know.
Oh my goodness. Is there anyone else, since we've sort of come to the end of it, is there anyone else here who has any questions that I haven't answered?
Yeah, what kind of cereal did your husband get?
It depends, Lynn. It depends on the week. It depends on the week. Could be anywhere from shredded wheat to granola and everything in between.
Good.
Anyone else have any questions besides cereal questions?
For the tables and the tents, if we're donating that, do we bring those to you ahead of time or just bring them the first time we come?
Julie, if you have them, I would just bring them to the site. But
Okay.
but you're telling me that you have them. So what I'm going to do is write myself a note on the spreadsheet that says Julie's got her tables. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
The tables and the tent. Yeah.
All right. Is there anyone else here that's like, yeah, I have the tables for my site, or?
I think we have tables for all of our sites, Heather.
Oh, great, Claire. Thank you so much. Okay. Anything else? If there is not, so my action items is to get all of our handouts to everybody there sitting around with Carolina and Naya and everybody, and get the translations for that. And thank you for that.
What
And what's that?
What about the canopies?
So the canopies, we are getting canopies donated. So anybody that needs a canopy can get a canopy. You need a canopy. Okay. You will have
Friday, yes.
Okay. So it's my understanding that Claire is going to come pick up the stuff here at the Literacy Council. So if you need a canopy, she'll make sure that you have a canopy. All right. And with that, I just want to thank everybody for their time again and for helping us make this program work. We could not do it without you. And I hope you find it fun and rewarding, and just know that you're really making a difference to these kids and everything. So thank you so much. And if you think of anything, sorry, what? Go ahead, Sandy.
We're excited.
All right, excellent.
Can't wait.
Wonderful. Well, if you think of anything in the meantime that pops up for you, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be here still today and tomorrow. And then if you have another question that pops up after that, just call Stuart or Claire, and I'm sure they'll help you out. Okay?
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, everybody. We'll say goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. God
Bye-bye.
bless.
God bless.